Hi to all of you. Today I am recording the lesson for the day 34. Today we are going to solve some problems on the SF and VM diagrams for the cantilever under point loads and also with UDL. So now I'm sharing the PPT. So this is a lesson for the problems on the cantilevers with point loads and UDL with UDL also. So in the last class, we have been discussing about the solution of this problem, and we are at the it's in the middle, and we have found the SF the shear boards at the important points, and also we have drawn the SF diagram. Now, so this is the BM calculations for the given problem. The BM at the free end will be 0. For the cantilever, BM is equal to 0 at the free end, and even at the point D also there is no other load, so it is 0. So the bending moment at the point D also 0. Now coming to the bending moment at point C. So for the point C, now this is the load acting. How much load? 10 into 0.5, 5 kN. So this 5 kN will act at a distance of midpoint of this one 0.25. So from here it is 0.25. So now we are taking it about C. So this so nothing but the W into X into X by 2. So that is nothing but the W X square by 2. The W is equal to 10 and X is equal to 0.5. So if you substitute that one, W into X into X by 2. So this is equal to 1.25, and this is the moment, then nothing but the clockwise to the right of the section. So it is negative. So the bending moment at point C is equal to minus 1.25 kilonewton per meter, and it is a hogging moment. Now the bending moment at the point A. So if the so what is the load? The load is equal to 10 into 0.5. That is 5 kilonewtons, and it is acting at the midpoint here. So that is 0.25 meters from here, the midpoint of this road. Now we want the moment at the about here. So 0.25 and 0.25. So it becomes a 0.5, 0.5 into 5. So that is the value. So 0.5 into 5. So minus 2.5 kilonewton meters. So this is also negative because it is also clockwise movement to the right of the section. So we have to take negative. So now we got at the B and D is equal to 0. We have C minus 1.25 and at D it is minus 2.5. So all are negative values. So this is a 0 line for the bending moment, and we got this is 0 value, this is 0 value, and here it is minus 1.25, and here it is minus 2.5. Now we have to how to change, that is very important, because here the UDL is acting. So here for this UDL, so it is the equation of a straight, what is that? It is a W into X square by 2. So it is a parabolic equation. So therefore the shape of the curve is like a parabola. So we have to join with this. This is a quadratic curve. That is a second degree equation curve. So we should join these two points with a curve. Whereas up to here there is no UDL, only like a load, that is a point load, it will act. So we have to join with a, that is nothing but a straight line equation. So we have to join with a straight line from this point to this point, straight line. So this is the shape. So with some proportions, we have to take a suitable scale and have to gain. So this is the area of the bending moment diagram. This is negative. So here the SF we have already drawn. This is positive. So this is the solution for the given problem. So in this way we can draw the SF diagram and BM diagram for the problems. Now next we will go to the another problem. Next, now in the previous classes we have discussed about the cantilever with point load and also with UDL separately. Now in this case, some point loads along with UDL also will be acting. So that type of problems will solve here. So now this is a problem on the cantilever with point load and also with UDL. So both combination of the both loads. Now we take this problem. Draw the SF and BM diagram for the cantilever being shown in the figure. So this is a cantilever given. So now you draw this, you take down this figure, and this is a cantilever having a length of total 4 meters, and the UDL is acting at the mid 2 meters length, and a point load is of 30 kN is acting at the free end, and the intensity of loading is this UDL is 25 kN per meter length. Now after taking this figure, we will go to the solution. Now coming to the solution, here it is a cantilever. So first of all we have draw the vertical lines. So we have to redraw, first of all we have to redraw the same cantilever given here. Then we have to draw the vertical lines from the salient points. So this is the free end, this is the fixed end. So this is the starting of the UDL point, and this is the ending of the UDL point. So like this, from the salient points you draw the vertical lines. Then below that, so this is a zero line. So you draw a zero line for the SF diagram, and also this is the zero line for the bending moment diagram. So now we have drawn the zero lines for the SF and BM diagrams. Now we have to find out the SF and BM at the salient points, and then accordingly we can draw the SF and BM diagrams. Now coming to the SF calculations, the SF at point B, that is the free end, is equal to a point load of 30 kN acting downwards. So it is a, so if we take a section here to the right, 30 kN is acting. So to the right of the section, it is acting downwards. So it is positive. So that the shear force at point B is equal to 30 kN. And similarly, coming to the point D, if you see the point D here, so between the points B and D, there is no other load except this point load. So it exactly at point D. So exactly to the right side of the point D, what is the total load is only 30 kN. So but so to the left of left onwards it will change. So we can consider either to the left or to the right. Therefore, I am considering the to the right of the section, and exactly if we take a section at point D, to the right of the D, 30 kN is acting downwards. So the SF at D also equal to 30 kN. That is the shear force at point B and point D are same. So the same shear force is continuing from point B to point D. Now coming to the shear force at point C. Now if you, this is shear force. So you have to take a section at the exact at the point C. If you take the right side of the C, so we got the two loads. One is the point load of 30 kN and another is a UDL. UDL of how much? 25 into 2, because it is the 25 kN per meter length is acting over a length of 2 meters. So 25 into 2 kN. So this is, it becomes 50 and this is 30. So the SFP is C is equal to 30 plus 50, that is 80 kN. So this is also acting downwards to the right of the section, so it is a positive. Now coming to the point A. Here at the point A, if you, to find out the shear force at point A. Now there is no force acting between the points C and A. So whatever the load acting up to C, so the same load is continued up to point A also. Even if not also, if you take the section here, to the right of the section we got two loads. That is 30 is one, 30 kN is the point load, and second is the 25 into 2. So this is 50 plus 30, that is 80 kN. So the shear force at A and at C are both same, that is 80 kN. Now we got all the values. So now we can draw the shear force diagram. So at B it is equal to 30. So this is 0 point. So you look at, this is 30. And here also at point D also 30. This is the point. Next at point C it is equal to 80. So you take some scale and proportional to the points, the distance of the vertical height of the diagram must be proportional to the magnitude of the shear force. For example, for 30 you have taken the 3 centimeters. Then for 80 it must be 8 centimeters, like that. Now here at point C it is 80 kN and at point A also 80 kN. Now we got all points, but how to generate is very important. So here only point load is acting. So whenever the point load is acting, so for the shear force it produces a rectangles. So you have to join with a horizontal line up to here. Now here it is UD acting. Whenever the UD is acting, so we have to, so the UD equation for the shear force is equal to W into X, that is the straight line equation. So we have draw a inclined line, that is a straight line between the points B, between the points C and D. So this is a C point and this is a D point. So you have to join with the inclined line or a straight line. Now here again there is only a point load. So we have to, and here the whatever the SF is there, same SF. So we have to join with a horizontal line. So this is the shape of the shear force diagram for the given problem, and so this actually figure will represent the shear force acting on the beam, and here in this case all the shear force is positive only. So we got all the area over the zero line. This is the zero line. Now coming to the bending moment diagram. So for the bending moment diagram, so we have to go for the bending moment calculations. So now the bending moment at point B, that is the free end. So always the bending moment at a free end is equal to 0. Next, the bending moment at point to D. So now point to D means, so at this point. So if we take the section here, so to the right of the section, only this force is acting. So 30 into how much distance is 1 meter. So 30 into 1, that is 30 into 1 is equal to 30 kN meters, and it is acting. So if this is the section, if suppose if we fix the beam at this point, so this moment will try to rotate the beam in the clockwise direction. So to the right of the section, clockwise produces a negative bending moment. So is minus 30. So that is got minus 30 kilonewton meter. The bending moment at the point D. Now the bending moment at point C. So at point C means here. If we take the section here, so to the right of the section, so we got the two forces. With that, it produces the moment. So first of all, we consider the 30 kN force. The 30 kN force is acting at a distance of how much from the distance between the point C and the point B. So this is 2 meters plus 1 meter. So total 3 meters. So 30 into 3 meters. So this is also causing the clockwise to the right of the section. So negative. So 30 into 3. That is the one. Next one is that is minus 30 into 3. Next, the other force. This is the force. This is the UDL. How much UDL? 25 into 2. That is 50. And it is acting at a distance of 2 by 2. So because the total distance is 2 meters, that is x. So x by 2 is equal to 2 by 2 is equal to 1 meter. So 25 into 2 is the force and 2 by 2 is the distance. So these are two forces. So minus first one is the minus 30 into 3 and minus 25 into 2 means 50 into 2 by 2, that is 1. So minus 90 minus 50 is equal to minus 140 kilonewton meters. That is the bending moment acting at the point C. Now coming to the bending moment about point A, that is point A. So now this is the starting, that is the fixed end. If you wanted to take the bending moment at point A, now you take the section here at exactly at the point A. Now to the right of the section we got the two forces, and because of these two forces it produces some moments. So we have to add that is where to find out the algebraic sum of the 2 points, two moments. So first one is the 30 kN is acting at a distance of how much? The distance between the A and B is equal to 4 meters. So 30 into 4, and it is also causing a clockwise to the right of the section. So negative. So minus 30 into 4. That is the one moment by the force 30 kN. The next force is that is the point load. The next force the UDL. So this UDL also causing some moment. So what is the moment? The UDL is equal to 25 into 2. That is 50. 50 kN is the force, and that 50 kN is acting at the midpoint of this length. That is 2 by 2 distance. That is 2 meters by 2. That is 1 meter from this point C. But we want the moment from the point A. So we have to add this distance. So that is 1 plus 1, 2 meters. So 2 meters into 25 into 2. 2 meters into 50. So it gives the, so first one is the 30 into 4, that is minus 120. And second thing is minus 50 into 2. That is 25 into 2 into 1 plus 1. That is 50 into 2. That is minus 100. So this is become the minus 220 kilonewton meters. So this is the bending moment at the points A, B, C, D. Then we have to locate these points on the diagram first of all. So it B, so 0, minus 30, minus 140, minus 220. So now coming to the bending moment diagram. So here all are negative. So this is the 0 we have taken, and at point B the bending moment is equal to 0, and at point D the bending moment is equal to minus 30, and at point C the bending moment is equal to minus 140, and at point A the bending moment is equal to minus 220 kilonewton meters. Now, so we got the points, but how to change, that is very important. Now here between the B and D points, only the point load is acting. So the equation is W into X. So it is a straight line equation. So we have to join these two points with a straight line. But here UDL is acting. So the general equation for the bending moment of a UDL is W into X square by 2. That is a parabolic equation. So we have to join with a curve. So between the points C and D, we have to join with a curve. That is very important. Next, between the points A and C, so no UDL, only the even this UDL, this also will act as a point load because we are taken the load is equal to 25 into 2, that is 50 kN, and it is acting at the midpoint, and it will also act like a point load, and this is the third point load. Anyhow, we have found the sum of these two forces, but so it is taken to be only as a acting like a point load, and that point load will cause a straight line. So therefore, we have to change the values between the points A and C with the straight line. So this is a straight line curve, and this is the straight. This is a straight line, and this is the curve, and this is a straight line. So this is the now the required bending moment diagram for the given problem. So this hatched area will represent the bending moment diagram for the given problem, and here all the bending moment is negative only, and here all the shear forces are positive. So that's why it is called the positive shear force diagram, and this is negative bending moment diagram. And by just seeing you now, we can observe here what we can observe from the SF and BM diagrams. Very simple. By just seeing only at what point the shear force is maximum, or at what point the shear force is minimum or zero, and where the maximum bending moment is occurring, that we can simply know very easily. Now here also what is happening is the maximum shear force is acting at point between the points A and C, including the points A and C, and the minimum shear force is acting at the point B and also equal to point D. The between the points B and D, the shear force will remain constant. That is the minimum shear force. Now coming to the bending moment diagram, the maximum bending moment will be occurring at the point A, and the minimum bending moment is occurring at the point B, and the shape of the curve of the bending moment diagram is like a parabola between the points C and D. Like this, we can able to draw some conclusions by seeing the SF and the BM diagram of any member. That is the advantage of the SF and BM diagram. Next, we'll move to the other problem. This is the this is the problem. So this is a problem of combination of the UDL and point loads on the cantilever. Now we can take this problem. A cantilever beam 4 meters long has point loads of 40 kN, 50 kN, and 10 kN at a distance of 0.5 meters, 3 meters, and 4 meters respectively, from the fixed end. It also has a UDL, that is a uniformly distributed load of 60 kN per meter for a distance of 2 meters, and starting from 1 meter from the fixed end, draw the SF and BM diagrams. So this is the problem given on the cantilevers. First of all, we will draw the loading diagram with the given data. So first of all, we draw a cantilever of 4 meters length, and we have to divide that 4 meters into 0.5 meters and 3 meters and 4 meters and also 1 meter, like that, depending on the requirements and the placing of the loads. Now, first of all, we draw the figure. So first of all, draw a, this is the cantilever shown with green color. Here the total length is, so here we have to first draw the, this length is equal to 4 meters. So then proportionally we draw. Then depending on the requirements, we have to divide the length. Because a first 40 kN is acting at a distance of 0.5 meters. Then another point load of 50 kN is acting at a distance of 3 meters. And another 100 kN point load is acting at the free end. And that is nothing but at a distance of 4 meters from the fixed end. Next, UDL also acting. Here we got 3 point loads and UDL. UDL, how much UDL? Here the intensity of UDL is equal to 60 kN per meters, and it is acting over a length of 2 meters. And he has given what is the starting condition? The UDL is starting at a distance of 1 meter from the fixed end. So this is a fixed end. So from 1 meter from fixed end it will start. So it will be acting for 2 meters. So it will start here and end here. So like this we got the A, B, because the first one is the AB is the lever. Then this is a C point load, first point load. Next, D point is the starting of the UDL. E point is the ending of the UDL and also second point load, like that. So we got the ABCD is the cantilever. So AB is the cantilever, and in between we got the CDE points. Now we have to very simple here. Only thing is this problem also similar to that of the previous problem. Only thing is that here we got the more point loads. So once we solve this, we can solve any kind of this problem. Here, first of all, so for this, also we know very well that for the cantilever, generally the shear force will be positive. So that is, so all the figure will come over the zero line, and the bending moment will be negative. So all the things will come under the zero line. So that's why, so we have draw the zero lines. So first of all, we have draw this figure, then we have to vertical, we have to extend the vertical lines from the points A, B, C, D, E. And then, so we have to draw a horizontal line. This is horizontal line. That is zero line for the shear force diagram. Okay. Next, this is the another zero line. This is for the bending moment diagram. Then we have to find out the shear forces and bending moments at the salient points. That is A, B, C, D, E. And then we'll mark the points. We have to locate the points and we will draw the diagram. Now the shear force at point B. If we take the point B, the shear force acting at point B is equal to, so if we take the right of the section, just here 100 kN is acting. The shear force at point B is equal to 100 kilonewtons. Now, between the B and E, there is no other shear point load, only this is there. But at point E, another. So now, if we take the shear force at point E, what is happening? To the right section, we got two loads, that is 100 plus 50. The shear force at E is equal to 150. So the at B is equal to 100 and at E is equal to 100 plus 50, that is 150 kN. Now coming to the shear force at point D. Now we got the three forces. This is the UDL and these two. So anyhow, coming to this point, 100 plus 50, that is 150, plus 60 into 2, that is 120. So 150 plus 120 is how much? That is 270 kN. And because here all the shear forces are positive, because all forces are acting downwards to the right of the section. So all are positive. Now coming to the point C. So exactly point C, what is happening? Another point load is acting. So between the D and C, the same will be there. But here exactly point C, what is happening is another point load is acting. If you take the right hand side of the point C, so 100 kN plus 150 plus 40, 190. 190 plus this 60 into 2, 120. So 190 plus 120. So total is 310 kN. So 310 kilometers acting at the point C. Now coming to the point A. So there is no other force between the point C and point A. So the shear force will remain same. So whatever the shear force is there at point C, the same shear force is acting at point A. However, we can say, so if we take the right side of the point A, so we got 100 plus 50 plus 40, this is 190 plus 60 into 2, 120. So 190 plus 120, how much? That is 310 kN. So SF at A also equal to 310. Now what is happening is SF at B is equal to 100 kN, and between the B and E, it is also equal to 100, and exactly at the point E, the 100 kN is suddenly increasing to 150 kN, and at the point D, it is equal to 270, and at C, it is equal to 310, and at A also equal to 310. Now we have to locate these points. So now already we have taken 0 line, so it is here, it is equal to 100, and here this is equal to 150, and here it is equal to 270, and here it is equal to how much? 270, then it is equal to 310 here. This is the point, and here also 310 here. Now the joining is very important. So the we'll get the rectangles under the point rods. So it is 100. So between the points B and E, the amount of shear force will be 100 kN. But however, when it came to the point E, the shear force is suddenly increasing to 150 kN from 100. That is increasing is 50 kN. So this is the 150. That is 50. This is the 50 kN. Now here, what is the point? 270 point here. So how to join? Because UDL is acting. So whenever the UDL is acting, the general equation is W into X. So y is equal to mx. So it is a straight line equation. We have to join with a inclined line and a straight line between the points this E and D. Now here what is happening is, now there is no other force between the D and the C. So between this points D and C, no other force. So the same 270 will be there, but the same inclined line will not continue because here there is no UDL. So it will act like a point load only. Therefore, so it is having a straight line, that is a horizontal line from the points D and C. Then here what is happening is again at the point C, another point load is acting. So therefore, due to this point load, suddenly the shear force increases from 270 to 310 kN. So 270 plus 40, 310 kN. So this is a sudden increase in shear force at point C. Now between the points C and A, there is no increase in shear force. The same shear force is there. So the between the points C and A, the same shear force will continue. So therefore, we have to show it with a horizontal line. So now this is the shape of the shear force diagram, and all the shear force area is positive. That you must remember. And the maximum shear force is occurring at the fixed end, that is at point A. And here, because of this UDL, the shape of the curve is like a straight line here. So this is the shear force diagram for the given problem. Now coming to the bending moment diagram. So now to find out the bending moment, so we have to take the moments about that point. So now we take the point B, starting with the point B free end. So generally the bending moment acting at the free end is equal to 0. And because this is 100 kN is acting at point B, but however the distance between the force and also point B, both are same, both is 0, because both are at the same point. Therefore the movement caused by this 100 kN force about the point B is equal to 0. So the bending moment about the point B is equal to 0. That is the first thing. Next, coming to the bending moment at point E. Now, if you coming to the point E, what is happening? To the if you take the to the if you take the section here and to the right of E, we got only one force, that is 100 kN force, and it is acting at a distance of 1 meter from the point E. So the moment caused by the 100 kN force about the point E is equal to 100 into 1. That is equal to minus 100 minus 100, that is kilonewton meters. Next, because why? So it is causing a clockwise movement to the right of the section. So the clockwise movement to the right of the section is taken to be negative. So that is minus 100. Now coming to the so now the bending moment at point D. So at point D is equal to, so we got the three forces. So the 2 point loads and one VDL. So now first we take the bending moment of this first point load 100 kN into the distance is it is acting at a distance of 3 meters from point D. So this is 100 into 3, and it is also causing the clockwise to the right side, so negative, so minus 100 into 3, this is minus 300. And now coming to the second point load 50 kN, and it is acting at a distance of 2 meters from the point D. So 50 into 2, 100, so minus 100. This is also causing clockwise. Now coming to third force, so that is 60 kN, and it is acting at the midpoint of this UDL, that is from the point D, it is at a distance of 2 by 2 meters, that is 1 meter. So 60 into 2 is the force, that is 120 into 1, that is minus 120 kN meters is the moment caused by this UDL about the point D. Now we have to find out the algebraic sum of all these to get the total bending moment at band D. So that is equal to minus 520 kN meters. Now coming to the bending moment at point C. So at point C means, so now here the same force are acting. Only thing is the distance is changing. So now the 100 kN into the distance is 1 plus 2, 3 plus 0.5, 3.5 from point C. So 100 in minus 100 into 3.5. Next, this 50 into 2.5. Next, this is the 60 into 120 is the 120 kN is the force, and it is acting from 2 by 2 from here. This is 1 meter plus 0.5, 1.5. So these, so we have to add the bending moment of all these three forces. So the bending moment point C is equal to minus 100 into 3.5 minus 50 into 2.5 and minus 60 into 2 into 1.5. It becomes minus 655 kN meters. Now coming to the point A. Now if we take the point A, that is a fixed point. So we got the same 3 point loads and one UDL. Only thing is the distances at which they are acting from point A will change. So therefore now the algebraic sum of the moments of all the forces to the right of the section acting at point A is equal to, this is 100 kN into the distance is 4 meters. So minus 100 into 4. Next, this 50 into 3 meters minus 50 into 3. Next, coming to the UDL. So the UDL is how much? 16 into 2, 120. 120 is acting at 2 by 2 distance, that is 1 meter from this point D. Now this is 1 meter. So 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2 by 2. That is 1 plus 1, 2 meters from point D. So 120 into 2, that is minus 120 into minus 240 kN meters. That is the moment caused by this UDL. Now coming to the this 40 kN point load. So 40 into the distance is 0.5. So minus, this is also causing anti-clockwise, that is for clockwise movement to the right. So minus, so minus 40 into 0.5, that is 20 kN meters. So like this, we have to find out the algebraic sum of all the moments of all the forces to the right of the point A. So this is equal to minus 100 into 4 minus 50 into 3 minus 60 into 2 into 2 minus 40 into 0.5. So it is coming to be minus 810 kilometer meters. Like this, we have already found all the bending moments. That the bending moment at B is equal to 0, at E is equal to minus 100, at D is equal to minus 520, and at C is equal to minus 6055, and at A is equal to minus 810 kN meters. Now we have to locate all these values in the bending moment diagram. So this is zero line for the bending moment diagram, and so this is the bending moment at B is equal to 0, or the bending moment at E is equal to minus 100 kN meters. Now the bending moment at point D is equal to minus 520 kN meters, and the bending moment at point C is equal to minus 655 kN meters, and the bending moment at the point A is equal to minus 810 kN meters. Now, so this is 0 point, and this is the minus 100 at point E. Now, here it is a point load, so we have to join with a inclined line between the point B and E. Now, here between the D and E, here UDL is acting, and here we got a what line, what kind of line? It is a inclined line. So here we get a curve. What is the curve? The curve is a hyperbolic curve, second order curve. So we have to join the points D and E with a parabolic curve. Next, the bending moment between the C and D. Here also there is no UDL, so we have to join only with a inclined line. Then between the and C and E also with a inclined line. So we should, so like this we have to consider, and so this is the inclined line, this is a parabolic curve, and this is inclined line, again this is inclined line, but the slopes are different depending on the magnitude, and this is the shape of the bending moment diagram for the given cantilever. And we must note that whenever we get a horizontal lines here, we get a inclined line here. And whenever we will get a inclined line in the shear force diagram, we get a curve in the bending moment diagram. That we must know. So here, so this the slope of this line is different, and this line is different. And we got here the three lines, the inclined lines in the bending moment diagram. So the slope of these three lines in the bending moment diagram will be different depending on the magnitude of the bending moment acting between the points. Now, from this we can just estimate where the shear force is acting, how much. So from seeing this figure, the shear force is, the maximum shear force is acting at point A, that is the fixed end, and that must be equal to 310 kilonewtons. And coming to the bending moment diagram, the maximum bending moment will be occurring at the fixed end, that is the point A, and the value of the maximum bending moment is equal to minus 810 kilonewton meters. So in this way, we have to work out the problems. So this is the solution for the given problem. So we will stop our today's class at this point, and we will continue the remaining problems in the next class. So thank you, all of you.